Acrylic painting on recycled fabric. A night framed in roses. When I began this painting, I didn't reach for a plain white canvas. Instead, I chose a piece of fabric already alive with a story of its own. Roses blooming in pink, yellow, and orange on a teal blue background. At first sight, the pattern looked overwhelming. The flowers shouted for attention, repeating endlessly. Most artists would have covered it with primer, but I wanted to let it breathe. I wanted to work with the fabric, not against it, to let its character become part of the painting. This choice came with its challenges. The fabric was so vibrant that anything painted over it risked being lost. If I applied paint too thickly, I would bury the roses. If too lightly, the image of the house I imagined would fade away. Balancing between revealing and concealing became the central task. I began with simple shapes: the roof, the window, straight lines cutting into the swirling petals. Structure entered chaos, and order began to emerge. As I painted further, the transformation grew. I filled the sky with deep twilight blues, allowing some flowers to peek through, while others vanished beneath the night. A wooden pole and wires stretched upward, grounding the scene in familiar reality. Each brushstroke layered new meaning over the old pattern, creating tension between the printed fabric and the painted vision. Slowly, the house appeared, not plain and empty, but soft and dreamlike, wearing flowers across its walls. Then came the window, the most important part. I brushed warm yellow light into its square frame. That glow turned the painting from structure into story. Suddenly, the house felt inhabited, even without figures. I could imagine someone inside, resting, reading, or simply enjoying the quiet of evening. The flowers around it became more than decoration. They leaned inward like guardians, turning into a living frame that held the house gently in place. Looking at the finished work, I realized it contained more than one narrative. It was not only the story of a quiet house at night, but also of a fabric transformed. The roses, once just decoration, now carried emotion, nostalgia, and a sense of memory. The blending of repeating pattern and painted detail created an atmosphere both real and dreamlike, as though I were gazing at a memory rather than a literal scene. This process reminded me that art doesn't always demand a blank beginning. Sometimes the most powerful work comes when we listen to what already exists and allow it to speak. By respecting the fabric and layering my vision over it, I created something that holds both past and present. The roses did not disappear. They became witnesses, companions, and frames for the glowing window of a home at night.